Hi, people of YouTube. My name is Angel, and I'm 24 years old. I'm making my first video blog, and I wanted to share my experience with the birth control I had, Nexplanon. I got it in July. It is now August 2nd, and when I got it inserted, no problems, nothing. Like, it went really, really well. And they numbed my arm the same with the same medication that they numb for when you get an epidural um in labor, which I have a baby. He's 9 months old. Um and I had gotten my birth control shortly after I had given birth. And when I had got my birth control, a lot of people, they've really didn't get much symptoms out of it, and I still believe it is a really good birth control, but I got too many negative symptoms out of it. I constantly was feeling nauseous. Like, I felt like my morning sickness would not go away. I had gotten stomach aches. Like, there are times that my stomach would hurt, and I would just wonder, like, what the heck is going on? Why is my stomach hurting? Why am I nauseous? And there were times where I ended up missing work because I didn't feel good. I didn't feel well enough to go to work. And I don't know if this was a symptom, but a couple times I had gotten a really bad migraine, and I've never had migraines before until about January. But that could have been because of a cold, because I ended up coming up with a bit of a cold about right after those migraines. So it could have been just with that. But some other really bad symptoms I personally had with the Nexplanon is I had sorry. There were times I felt like my hormones were still up at the same level of my pregnancy. Like, when I was pregnant, I would bawl my eyes out while watching a Disney movie, and while on my birth control, and long after my pregnancy, I would be the same way. So it's like, okay, what's going on? I just felt like my hormones were still way up there and just not going down like they were supposed to. Uh, and with because of all these symptoms, my boyfriend he kept telling me it's the birth control, that's why you're feeling like this all the time. And I eventually gave in, and I just had it removed yesterday on March 1st. And I guess I can show you. It's nothing graphic. I got a bit of a band-aid over it right now. Or had a band-aid because it's coming off. I guess I can... It's nothing too bad. I hope I didn't gross anyone out. But I've also felt like that the Nexplanon has affected my depression and my anxiety, made it worse, because I was on an antidepressant while I was pregnant, and the one I was on was safe for me to take for during my pregnancy, and all of a sudden, and after I gave birth, it stopped working, and I thought that's maybe because of my hormones with them going down. It's just stopped working, and another I'm on another antidepressant, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And there were times I felt like it was just there was times I felt like I was There's times I felt like my depression was in complete control of me. And there were times I thought my relationship with my boyfriend would not last. But my boyfriend and I were still together, and we're doing great and everything. And I guess the birth control, it also made my face break out. That's a pimple, or was a pimple, all in my forehead, especially on this side. I broke out. I have a zit on my lip. Well, it's kind of gone now, but it was there for a couple days, and it didn't feel too grand. But before that, I hardly saw any acne on my face, and then all of a sudden, like, slowly I started getting more and more acne, and it's just been like, there's times I do feel insecure about myself and everything. And since I got it removed, I've actually been feeling better. The removal, it wasn't too bad. It was like, I was nervous because I've never had surgery before. I've never had a scalpel taken. I've never had to be cut with a scalpel or anything. So I was a bit nervous, but when I got there, I was there a bit longer than expected. I was at the doctor's office for a little over an hour. But it's probably because I had a lot of questions. But they numbed the area, and they made that little incision, very little, like it's maybe a centimeter. And they pulled it out, and I barely felt it, and they put these tape strips over it, which I woke up this morning and those had came up, and she told me when they come up to take it off, that I can take them off, and so I took them off, and I put the Band-Aid over it, just to be on the safe side a bit. And since then, stomach aches, gone. Nausea, gone. Another pretty bad symptom I had was in last month in February. I lost about 10 pounds. I lost about 10 pounds in about a month. Because I completely lost my appetite. I could only eat a couple bites, and then I could not eat anymore. Which, my appetite is back, and I can actually eat. But since I actually feel like my depression is actually doing us a bit better since I've gotten it removed yesterday, which was a little over 24 hours ago, because the appointment was at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's now about 6 o'clock in the evening, and I just thought, I feel like I'm just doing a lot better now that it's gone. And I am trying to think of a new birth control because my boyfriend and I were still a bit active. And yeah, it's a bit personal. and we don't plan on any more little ones until maybe 3 years. So, and I'm just wanting something to kind of prevent until we're ready for another child. And I've been thinking of the IUDs, and I've been more set on the copper one because it's non-hormonal, and I thought maybe with there being no hormones, it would be better for me. But I've just heard so many bad stories of it embedding into the skin, and I've heard of it embedding, it somehow traveling out of the uterus. And the doctor said that the chances of that is very slim. It's very unlikely, and it's very rare that it happens. But I'm like, I'm still a bit nervous. And I've heard of it, and I've heard of the insertion being a bit painful, and there being lots of cramping afterwards, which is where I'm still debating whether it would be a good idea for me. I've been on the pills years ago, and it made me bloat like a fish. I gained weight on it, and I don't want to go back onto that one. So, but anyways, I should probably get going, check on dinner in the crock pot, and my boyfriend will be home soon. And just want to sit in last bits. I would still recommend Nexplanon as a really good birth control, but with some people, apparently it's just not the greatest. Like for me, it didn't work out for me. Like I have friends who had Nexplanon, and they've all had great experiences with it. And I just thought like I'd just share my own. Alright. Have a good night or a good day whenever you're watching this video.